And welcome to Touchline. We're here with Bert Lobel, president of the OYSL. Bert, what a special day, what an important day, what a tense day for a lot of people. Let's talk about the relationship now. TFC coming into the mix.
Well, TFC this year will be participating as a full member in the OYSL. Last year they played a series of exhibition games, so it's positive. They'll be entering 3 teams, one in under 14, 15, and 16. So good things happening. We just finished off a meeting with member clubs that came in just to be advised of what's happening this 2013 season and moving forward.
We'll close it out with this, Bert. I think the key is that everyone's on the same page, everyone's listening, everyone's open to things, and the most important is the development of the Ontario player, correct?
Absolutely. You know, the whole thing now with what's being proposed, the OPDL, long-term player development and so forth, and just the way it is overall with TFC. And, you know, we've just, they've signed a couple of local boys, and TFC at the Kia training ground are really moving forward. And I think with this meeting it really helped in trying to clarify some of the information that perhaps was a little daunting, in the sense that clubs didn't know what was exactly happening with their players. So all positive today.
Bert, new and exciting times for yourself, the OYSL. Keep up the good work, and again, we wish everyone nothing but success.
Thanks, Anthony, and Happy New Year to yourself and to everyone out there. You know, 2013 promises to be an excellent season, development-wise, and everything else in this great game of soccer that we're all so passionate about.
Bert Lobel, president of the OYSL. And we are joined right now by the president of the OSA, Ron Smale. Ron, a historic day today, an important day, but a lot of people are still leery about now the relationship, the mix into the family of TFC. Talk to the clubs and the parents about this taking place this season.
Yeah, I just came out of an excellent meeting with coaches and club reps within the OYSL, Anthony, and we're on the right steps going forward. That's the short answer. The right steps going forward. Very positive discussion. Some good action items. We'll be having continuing meetings right through to the start of the season, which will be May 10th, opening weekend, and looking forward to a continued relationship with TFC. I was very, very pleased with the attitude. The environment was very positive.
Parents and clubs are concerned about the communication aspect between the OSA clubs and TFC. Can you assure them now that that will be taken care of once and for all? The communication will be more of a key between the OSA clubs and TFC.
Communication will be addressed. It will be 10 times better than what it's been in the past. You're right, communication has not been good. That was one of the key messagings that we heard today. And again, communication is collective amongst us all, and we've all committed to doing that. So our next meeting in March, that'll be brought forward as well. So you're going to hear more from us as we develop these initiatives.
And the last question is this big multi-billion-dollar company, Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, you know, should be giving back to the community. And they are, but are they doing more now for the youth clubs in Ontario?
Again, I think that's part of our development relationship going forward. We're talking about putting 3 teams into the 14s, 15s, and 16s of the OYSL. That's the first step, phase 1. Certainly our communications with Thomas and his group and his academy group, I expect and I anticipate a huge shift as TFC becomes more involved with us, and it's going to be a great season going forward. More importantly, a great family relationship of soccer going forward.
We're joined right now with TFC Academy coach under 12, Johnny Cimini. Johnny, talk about why you are here today, because you, I understand, are going to be playing a year up with your group.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're just here today to discuss openly with other coaches in the league how the relationship with Toronto FC going forward in the OYSL.
Let's talk about it. A lot of teams will be gunning for you now. They want to give their best against TFC, and you guys understand that there's going to be a lot expected from your boys too.
Yeah, well, competition is part of development. In fact, it's actually a very important piece of the development, and we need those competitive games. We invite those competitive games, and you know, we respect our opponents. We teach TFC players to respect our opponents, and you know what? It's just going to provide for the great atmosphere to develop our players, especially playing a year up.
The key, I think, here is to develop the Ontario player, the Canadian player, to go on to success. Not that TFC is better than this club or that club. It's all about developing the player, correct?
Correct. Development is key, and that's something that we've been getting better at in this game in particular. I've always said it that the grassroots coaches nowadays at the youth clubs are doing their job, and we're seeing that at Toronto FC. The players are coming into our program much more technical, much more game aware, and everybody's a piece of the puzzle here to solve our player development crisis, and I think we're along the right track because if any evidence at TFC, we've seen the players come in much more technical, much more game aware, and that's got to come back to the coaches at the grassroots level. And now it's our job at Toronto FC to take them to that next level. And the ODP program is going to provide the development in terms of competition. So we've got everything in place to make sure that our players develop properly.
Well said, Johnny. Welcome into the mix, welcome into the family, and develop players for the future, my friend.
Thank you, Anthony.
We are now joined by TFC Academy, the big guy, Thomas Rungan. Thomas, welcome once again. A special day for TFC coming into the mix, into the family. A lot of people a little bit eerie, but I think for the development of the game, it is key that you guys have entered in.
I think so too, and a lot of kudos go out to Bert Lobo and his staff to allow us to play in the OYSL. I think it's very important. Ron Smell has played a huge role in that as well as the president of the OSA, and I think that the perception of most clubs now is that we will be a club that can help the further development of long-term player development, which is so important. More meaningful games is going to help everybody, including TFC, but also the opponents that we play. So we're very pleased that we were accepted to be part of the greater Ontario family, that we can stay here and don't have to go to the United States like Montreal and Vancouver did, that we can share our knowledge and our facility with the local clubs and players, and also, as I said, I'm going to take part in the continuation and the growth of the game in Toronto, the greater Toronto area, and Ontario, and in Canada for that matter, because we all aspire to get players through to the respective youth national teams and senior teams, and make the quality of football and the quality of coaching and refereeing to a higher standard.
Thomas, let's be honest, the target will be on now TFC teams, because the youth clubs will want a gun for you guys and try and beat you guys. Are your guys ready for this?
Well, yes, we are. For us, it's maybe a little bit different. It's not about winning. It's finding those one or two players each and every year that can help our senior team and play for our first team and get over the contract. We are competitive as anybody else. We welcome good competition both at home and the road. As I said again, part of training and developing players is not only have a best practice plan, a ratio of 4-to-1, and the 1 is the game on the weekend. Hope that those games are meaningful. We also do outside competition. I'm very, very happy to say that we are representing Ontario, Canada in the super group in Dallas with Danny Dichio's team. We were just invited to go to Amsterdam and play in a group with Barcelona, AC Milan and Bayern Munich with our junior team, and our 3 younger teams are taking part in a tournament in DC. So we will proudly represent TFC, Ontario and Canada in those tournaments, and that's in addition to the games we're getting in league play, which we hope to be as competitive and as good as possible.
Exciting days ahead and exciting competition. Last question is this, Thomas. You've been all over the world. This country, this province is so different in so many ways. Have you seen, again, finally people starting to open up the door a little bit more to TFC and understand that we're all here to try to develop for the better the player? I'll say it again as myself as a parent, Thomas. I would be honored if someone came after my son from TFC to say, hey, we'd like your son to be part of the family. I see too many of these clubs putting up fences and brick walls saying no. Why?
I think we're slowly breaking those down, Anthony, and I think more and more people starting to think the way you do. That's a privilege. We need to do a better job as TFC to acknowledge those clubs as well and those players. So I think that's very important. Everybody can play a role in long-term player development, from the recreational clubs with not the great ambition to win games at under 18 or under 17, but also with the clubs that have produced some very great players. You look at our 2 picks in the first round, Kyle Becker and gosh, I forgot his name. The kid who played at Oregon State.
boys at Sigma, yes.
That we played. You know, some came through the system right here. So some played for several clubs here. So everybody deserves the credit that they are due. And it lends me to believe that we can create more Kyle Beckers because I know that the talent level is high, and that everybody, I think over time in this watershed moment where we're getting away from the provincial teams and we're going to club development, which is all very healthy, standard based with good coaching. It will just increase the level on several segments of soccer in this country, as long as people keep an open mind and understand again what their roles are in their respective clubs.
I lied. Last question. I know that you're happy with TFC and what they're doing for you and what you're doing for them. But what happens if Victor Monteliani, the head of the CSA, gives you a call and says, "Hey, Thomas, would you be interested in taking over Team Canada? You know CONCACAF, you know Canada now, you know Ontario. Would you be interested?"
Well, I'm very happy where I'm at right now. Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, Toronto FC in particular, our new president, Kevin Payne, our new head coach that I drafted in 2001 when I was the head coach at DC United, Ryan Nelson, is here. I'm very happy where I'm at, and I want to really see this out, this process of growth in the game, the changes that are taking place right now. I'm excited about. I love teaching. I mean, that's really my passion. I've got a master's in physical education, so I feel very comfortable. If a call comes, I would be honored and probably would entertain it. But I think there's some better people out there that could help Canada on the senior level to get to that next step that they need to go. Again, is in this fight for a World Cup spot in 2018, which might be a little bit too early, but definitely by 2022 with the initiatives that we're taking now on a youth level to produce the players that can get, as I said again, the senior national team to a World Cup. It's been too long since 1986.
Oh, you said that right. Thomas Rongen, thanks again for joining us here. And TFC fans and Kevin Payne, you got a good one here. His heart is in the right place. And again, thanks for joining us here on Touchline.